Hello and welcome to this jazz guitar lesson on creating harmonic motion through a 2-5-1. One of the things that really drew me to jazz early on was the sophistication of the harmony that I was hearing. I had no idea what was going on and was really quite perplexed with all of the harmonic motion that I was hearing. When I first started studying jazz guitar, I was using block chords, and I had a very static understanding of harmony. And what I mean by that is, if I had a 2-5-1 in the key of G, A minor, D7, and G, and each chord, was a full measure, my approach would be one voicing for A minor, one voicing for D7, and one voicing for G major 7. And then that maybe expanded, and I said, I can put a 9 on there, maybe an alteration on the 5, so a D7 flat 9 resolving to the G major 7, or maybe like a G6 9. And that was great. Those were much prettier colors and a little more interesting. But I was still hearing something else going on when I listened to really advanced musicians comp. There was a lot more motion happening. For example, if I was listening to a recording of, say, Autumn Leaves, and in E minor, so the first chord A minor, I might hear harmonic motion within one measure of A minor. So I said, well, there's more than A minor being played, even though the real book is saying it's a full measure of A minor. I might hear moving to the D7. I said, man, what's going on? I had no idea that you could do this. So that's what I want to talk about today, is kind of share with you one idea to add some harmonic motion in a 2-5-1. So when we talk about creating motion, we really have to be aware of the starting point and the ending point, because it's between those 2 points that the motion is going to happen. So between A minor and D7 is where we're putting the motion. And in this context of a 2-5-1, this lays out really well. We can basically walk up the diatonic chord scale. We have to add in one passing chord, but we can start on A minor, move up to B minor. We can move up to C6 or C major 7. They're interchangeable, right? So there's 3 beats. I have one more beat to fill before I get to D7. And what's nice is I can fill that with a chromatic passing tone and turn it into a diminished chord, and it fits perfect. So right, and bass players, this is kind of a cliche bass line, right? Takes you right to the 5 chord from the 2. So here we have some nice motion. I could syncopate it. And here I'm using a D9 sus for my D7, and I'm going to resolve it. And this is going to create some motion. So we have D9 sus resolving to D9. Now, I can add some more tension on that 5 chord by doing D9 sus and resolving to D7 flat 9. So I drop both voices down. And I don't know if you see this, but here's a C triad, right? So a C, you can refer to this as C over D. It's a C triad with a D in the bass, and that creates a D9 sus. And then the top 2 voices are moving down a half step. So we're adding tension and that tension is pulling us to resolution on the G major 7. So now I moved 4 times on the A minor, and I only moved twice on the D7. So we can actually really target more motion on the D7, and let's look at a way to do that. So we're going to walk up to our D7 sus 9, and 1, 2, and then I'll come and play a tritone substitution and resolve to a G6 9. So let me play that in time. So much more motion there, right? Okay, so we put that all together. And we get a 2-5-1 that has much more motion. Hopefully this will open up some ideas. Now, one thing to remember is whatever you do harmonically can become a pathway for a melodic approach. So I can actually come back and I can arpeggiate that motion. Right, so A minor, and these are just triads, B minor, C major, C sharp diminished, and then I finished with a D13 to a D7 sharp 5, and we can resolve to a G major, G6 9 there. I can start descending and alternate, so descending, ascending, descending. Resolve to a G major 9 here. So let's talk about application, and I'll give you a few examples of how I might use this in a song. We mentioned Autumn Leaves earlier, and so let's put it in there. So I put it right in the 2-5. I did a similar approach for the G major 7 moving to the C major. It was a little bit different, the motion. We're just going to talk about 2-5-1s right now. You know, this could also be, I can use this for an introduction. You know, all right, so I'd put it as an intro to My Romance. I could build the harmony out more, so I'm not limited to here. I have a three note voicings until I get to here. So I could turn these into, I could add a 4th note. So hopefully this will kind of open up some possibilities for you. So before we go, I just want to run through the accompanying PDF that goes with this lesson on my Patreon page. I've got 5 examples there, and I'm just going to run through each one. Example 1. Example 2. Example 3. Example 4. And example 5. Thanks for joining me here. I hope you found this information useful. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the content I upload. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.